Okay, I'm Russell Dyer. I'm from Truman, Arkansas. Uh, been here for the last 30 years, probably.
I mean, you have. You've been here.
Tag.
You suckered me in. I'm Bobby Ray Greene. Um, Come from Tyrone, Arkansas, which it's not too far from here. About 15 miles or so. And I grew up there, and got hooked up with Erik, and me and him has been making music for a while now, about 3 years or so. And the question comes in, the story of our music career, which I'm gonna switch that over to you, man, and give me that.
My music career started when I was about 22. I was going to be a guitar player. I started playing, no schooling, no lessons. Played in a couple small bands, never played really live shows or nothing. Realized about 10 years down the low road that life and work was going to take me away from being a guitar player I wanted to be, so I gave it all up. And one day I was reading a magazine or something about home studios, and I started looking into it, and I thought maybe I could do something like that. So I started small, started to build, and 5 years later, I'm where I'm at now. Still can't play guitar very good, but I write songs a little bit, and that's how I contribute.
Don't let this guy fool you. He's a really good songwriter. He nails me down. He nails me down on the board whenever we're in a tough spot. And I just don't know where I'm going to go with this line. I don't know where I'm going to go with this line or the next paragraph. This guy right here, he always nails it down. He nails it down to the point to where you can't take it back. Can't take it back because it's nailed down. He's just that good for real. And as a team, and me speaking from my personal music career, I played a lot of rock bands. I played a couple heavy metal bands and played in a few country bands and stuff. But when me and him got together, we're like, man, we're just gonna write stuff that we know about, stuff that we feel, stuff that people can relate to. If you can't grab a crowd, from writing stuff that you relate to, then you're just not being a real person, and you have to think about that. And when it comes along with with the music career thing, the only thing we really are trying to do is to make music that people actually want to listen to. If somebody puts a song in and they're listening to it, 5 seconds into it, they're gone. And they don't want to hear it anymore. We're not making good music. So, what we're focused on as a team, me and Erik, we're focused on just making good music for everybody. Or what we're into videos. We do our own music videos. We do anything media that people, just random people like me and you would listen to. Like me, I look at random videos on YouTube and Facebook, and if I'm 5 minutes in, or 5 seconds into it, and it hadn't catch me yet, I'll turn it. So me and him, we're into doing the complete opposite. We want to catch people in that first frame and bring them into to the actual to the actual song. Like, okay, you're here with me. Now what do? You live the song with me.
The next question is like, how does the music affect our writing, or how does our personal life affect our writing? I wanted to start out with this by saying that uh, relationship wise, me and my wife been together for quite a while, and I'm like 15 years, no, about 18 years. We've been together, and we've come to a bond where she knows that this is something I like to do. Uh, Now that's on a personal note. Now, as far as the music, uh, the life that I've lived is starting out listening to like Rod Stewart, a lot of 70s, music. And then I went more into the metal stream, heavy metal. I was really big in heavy metal for a long time. And then I guess I went to the alternative 80s music. And when the 90s came along and the grunge came in, it just didn't sit well with me. So I kind of went to a different path there. I went more into alternative metal. I went to a lot of White Zombie, Rob Zombie, I don't know, a Corn. I listened to a lot of the alternative metal bands. I was really into going to concerts, and after that, then I got a lot into. I listened to a lot of I guess you could say rap music. I didn't quality listen to a lot of quality rap music. I listened to more underground rap, and I also listened to a lot of I guess you would say underground metal bands too. I was really into that. Back in the early 90s and late 90s, you had magazines like crazy, would show you all these metal bands, and Down was a big influence on me as far as music.
I like Down. Love them.
Uh, and when Bobby came around, it was switching to country, and how it affected me was like I could see from metal, and this might be strange to some people, but I could see where writing a song that meant something to somebody really meant something. And the way Bobby writes really impressed me as far as the meanings of the song. So I really got into it really quick. So it was a growing experience with the countryside, but I think that I took off really well with it. I didn't have any problems adapting to it. I don't know if Down helped that a lot, because Down is like a really metal band, but they're really a good grunge southern rock band too. So I really contributed with the influences I had with that. Uh, as far as total life experience with music, it's really neat that like right now we're even exploring a hip hop country song, and we actually have like a 90s metal song where we're going to try to tone it down to country. And see, those are the things that I think we like experimenting with,
Yeah,
that's
man,
going to make us a better band.
yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Like as a duo, when you're getting into the personal part of it, it's like, I mean, you wake up one morning, and man, you just feel like writing about something, or you feel like going to work, or having you a cup of coffee, or personal means personal. Whatever is personal to you, it may mean, I want to wake up and have a cup of coffee and enjoy the news before I go to work, or I might want to just wake up and go for a jog around the block, just see if I can do it. That's the American way. That's the personal thing about music. I mean, you can get up and you can write about anything you want. You can say anything you want, because we have rights as Americans, freedom of speech, and that is our right. You know what I'm saying, Eric?
We try not to take it for granted though.
Yeah, we don't take it for granted, man. We just write about stuff that things that we love, things that we reminisce on, things that we miss. Maybe a bad relationship, but we don't turn around and make things sound so bad when we're getting real personal with our music. It's like we try to, if anything, we're in the song and we're trying to fix the situation. We're not trying to make it worse. We're trying to fix any situation that's bad, and trying to make any situation that's good even better. You know, that's what we do in our songs. And if you haven't noticed that, I mean, we have our first song that we ever did together, Real Billy. It took us about a year to record. No, I'm kidding. It took about it took a couple months just to get comfortable with the fact of what we were trying to do and the things we were trying to capture with it. So the personal part of that, that's where that comes in. We were personally trapped trying to get the best sound, the best song. Where we were trying to be the best, and that is personal, you know. And that goes on to the next question, which is, how do we build and put our songs together? So that would be
One
you.
thing Bobby didn't say was a lot of times he tells me it's a life lived story that he writes about, something that's maybe affected his life personally. And some of the songs that we do are real personal to him. So it's not like we're making up everything that we're writing about. A lot of stuff we write about is real, hits home with us. I'm not going to go into any personal details of any song, but when you listen to our music and you hear personal things, more than likely something has affected our life in that way to where we share that in a song. And we think that's very important because I am going to speak of one song just out of the blue. We wrote a song called "Country's Gone," and it was about how country's fading away.
Yeah.
And I mean, it came out really good. It If you want us to talk anything political that we've ever done, that was the only kind of. And if you'll listen to that song, you'll see that song is very, it's very, I mean, moving about how the country is fading away, and now urban is taking over everything. You can see that in the country. You just drive around, you see barns falling down, you see buildings, new shops being built. You just don't see the old timey ways anymore. Hey. And now getting back to how we build a song, we basically start with a structure of something that we want to talk about. We come up with an idea. We might have a beat in our head. We might try to lay the beat down in a track. He might get the guitar out and do something along that line. Yeah, and start picking away.
Yeah.
And it's funny that he comes up with some of the greatest lines, and then we have to build on that. And that's basically how we start building. And then we go through what I call the growing period, where I do something, he tears it apart and builds it back. I do something. We work back and forth that way.
We're a team.
We're a team.
Remember
Yeah.
That, yeah, we do.
And we have our struggles in building a song, because there's times that we have to argue over a line, or maybe chord phrasing, or maybe a beat, or the tempo of something, and we just we hash it out. He might get up and go outside and smoke a cigarette and get his frustration out, and then come back and and then we start all over again. That's our building process.
And that's where I come in. I'm saying Erik don't smoke, so he don't get that opportunity. He can't just go out and smoke when I can. So he's sitting up here and he's more frustrated than me because he can't go out and smoke. He can go out and breathe the fresh air, but he can't go out and smoke. So let me go in and talking about that for 1 second. How we build and put songs together. Well, pretty much Erik here, he's the backbone of the music. He puts the songs together. He staples them in. If anything is moved later on, it's a judgment of me and him both. If something needs to be changed, if something isn't clicking just right for me and him both, we will both decide to move it. I mean, it's not like a one person thing. It's like we are a group effort. We do things together. That's how we put things together. We don't just we're gonna have somebody lay some drum tracks down. We're gonna have somebody lay some guitar tracks down. You're gonna come in and sing, and then it's done. No, we don't do that. we listen to every aspect, from start to finish a lot of times, a bunch of times, and if it don't catch us from the front to the beginning, from the beginning to the end, then we just, you know, we start completely over with a completely different song, and that's a tough process. It really is.
Let me one other thing Bobby wanted me to talk about was the studio that we use. Uh, we use PreSonus Studio One. Uh, PreSonus, I started using their preamp uh, 5 years ago. During that time, I was using Cakewalk, and I moved to Cubase, and I noticed on my PreSonus the preamp that I had some paperwork in there, and I was reading through it one day, and I've already had the preamp probably a year, and then I noticed where they had an offer that you could get their studio for like $99 or something like that. It was a deal that you could get to try it out, and I was so frustrated using Cakewalk and using Cubase that I knew I was dabbling around with Sony's Acid Studio, and the drag and drop was awesome. I loved working with that. And when I read about Studio One and it was all drag and drop, I was like, well, this is going to just be another Acid Studio. But when I got it home and I tried it out and I noticed how really cool it was to use, it just blew me away how easy it was to put together songs. And when I started building the studio with VSTs and with loops to basically do like rap music is what I was dabbling in at the time. It was so easy to build songs, and I started recording some rap guys doing uh, mixtapes. I put together a few mixtapes in the beginning, and it was real simple to work with them guys. The recording effort is like so easy. It seems like Studio One had a guy like me in mind when they built it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I brought Bobby in, and less than 6 months, 3 months, he was using Studio One. I mean, as good, if not as good as I can
I
use
mean,
it.
we're both professionals. I mean,
Yeah,
we know music, but this program is phenomenal.
right.
It's great. I mean, Studio One, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great program.
Some of the aspects that Studio One offers is the drag and drop. Uh, when I switch over to FL Studios or if I switch over to Pro Tools, it's so complicated to have to plug everything in that it and the quality is not exactly. Now I'm not a very expensive studio. I'm a kind of down low grade studio here. I don't have high dollar equipment, and I can
He's
imagine.
awesome. He's awesome. Don't let
Well,
him lie.
if you have the money to invest high dollars in Pro Tools and you could get all the great plugins for it and you could get all the hardware, you go for it because that's going to make you up there on a pro level. But if you are an amateur home recording studio and you're looking for the best studio, Studio One's next to nothing. I got to brag about them.
Yeah, it's great. It really is. Um, and now we get to talk about how we met. Our first song and where it went to.
Okay.
Well, let me start this one out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, how we met was a good buddy of mine, Christian Saliba. He brought me over and let me listen to some things Erik was doing with Mr. Houston Steele, good country singer, by the way. Me and Erik got to talking. We became friends instantaneously, man. Like that, you know. We kind of sucked each other up, you know. We're like, he knows what I'm talking about, you know. I know what he's talking about, man. We're gonna write some songs together, you know. It's just kind of happened that way. And the first song we did was a song called Real Billy. It was a song just about, being a real country boy doing your thing, going out there and not being fake. That's what the song was about. Just pretty much just country living. Um, you can't really argue that fact. I mean, if you're a country boy, you're a country boy. If you're not a country boy, you're not a country boy, and that's just the way it is. You know.
You might be a country boy at heart, though.
Yeah, you might be a country boy at heart, and you want to be a country boy, and that's cool, man. If you want to try, if you was raised up in the city and you want to try to be a country boy, the best way to be a country boy is to move to the country. Do you know what I'm saying? Let a real country boy show you the roots. Is what I'm saying. You go out on the damn fishing. If you're going out fishing, man, you ain't got no bait. What do you use? Let me ask you that question. What do you use for bait? You pick a damn grasshopper off the grass. You stick it through the hook. Throw him out in the water, man. He's bait. He's flying around. He looks beautiful, but he's bait if you're fishing. That's all I'm saying about that. But
that's real country hit right there.
As far as where the song went to, well, I mean, there's a lot of people that know about Rillbilly. There's a lot of people, a lot of family and friends and people out there that have talked about Rillbilly and came back and asked me about it, asked Erik about it, and they want to know. So I'm gonna let Erik talk about it, and he's gonna tell you everything that I just told you, and from his sense.
He kind of explained how we met. We met through a mutual friend. He brought him over here one day, and he laid down Rillbilly in acoustic. And man, I was like blown away with the lyrics and the beat of the guitar, and I thought it was very cool. At the time, I had two or three friends' musical instruments over here, and we started playing this song, and Bobby had all these ideas and all these guitars laying around here, and I think we recorded on at least 5 different guitars this one song.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And it was really fun because I've never done anything like that before, and we laid all these tracks down of all these different guitars, and it was new to me. And the recording aspect like that was very awesome that we finally got to do something like that. Where the song went was, it went to us understanding what we needed to do with music. We put together the song with all these different tracks. We compounded how the tracks needed to be laid out, and it kind of gave us a direction of how me and him was going to work from there on out. We understood after that song the flow of what we need to do. I think we built on that. It was a long learning process, and he's right. It took 2 or 3 months for us to do the one song, but it was the first song, and it was a song that we growed on together. It was more me recording at the time than on my own, where he was learning to just work in the studio. I'm sure it was not his first experience in the studio, but
No.
it was I guarantee it was his hardest experience he's ever had in the studio.
It was the best. What shall I say? It was the most meaningful experience that I had in the studio. It felt better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the song just to us really moved us forward to writing the next song and the next song. And it was slow at first, but once we started, it was like it took off.
Like a damn fart in the wind, man. It's just gone. You know what I'm saying. But yeah.
Next question is what is our plans for the future? Well, we have 31 songs now, and they're all released. They're on iTunes and Amazon, and they're all over the internet for sale. We did that because we're trying to get exposure. We're trying to get out there. We didn't do it to become rich because, I mean, that's not where we're at right now. Right now we're still growing. We still writing songs. Our future plans is we're already writing more music already, and that's the cool thing. We're still young and naive and wanting to have fun with it. We're not ready to
go bam.
We're not ready to grow up. We're not ready to give in to the man,
Yep.
and we haven't lived enough of the fun stage yet.
Yeah, we know our future. I mean, our future is the music. I mean, come on. You know me like I know you.
Yeah,
Like Eric, we can both be at each other's throats at any time. Any given time. We could do it right now on camera, but we're not. You know why? Because we know how to work together now. Our future relies on that. Like, we know how to work together.
right.
We if Eric brings me an idea for a song, I don't just say, "Oh, I don't like that." I'm saying, "Oh, okay. Let me look at this." All right. If I bring him an idea to the song, he gonna say, "Oh, okay. Let me look at this. Let's try this. Let's try that. Let's try this. Let's try that." That's the way we work. I mean, there's if you are wanting a future in songwriting, and you're a songwriting team like we are, I mean, you need to respect each other's ideas, because if you don't, I mean, your idea, your only one idea, may be very, very small, smaller than you think it might be, and you think it might be great, but it ain't so great. You need your partner, So the future lies in us working together, I think. I mean, honestly, we started out working together. We've cut each other's heads off working together, sewed them back on working together, and that's pretty much it as far as the future goes. Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we would like to be successful, and one day we hope we are successful. I mean, that's why we're doing this, to get the music out there, and hopefully, we're both poor boys from the country. That's all we are right now.
Whoop.
And a few extra dollars in our pocket ain't gonna hurt neither one of us. But if you'll listen to our music, you'll see that's not what we're writing the music for. We're not writing it to be famous or
We
to
do
be
it for us. We do it because it's personal.
for the fans, for
Yeah.
our personal gain towards you,
for
to the fans.
for people that want
Yeah,
to listen. If you don't want to listen, fine.
right.
But we're doing it. We're doing it for people that want to hear it. Honestly. So
The last question we have tonight is, what are we gonna do if we become successful? Well, my only plans would be to build a nice big studio with a house where I could, do this for a living the rest of my life. I have no plans of moving to Nashville. I would like to stay here in Arkansas. I would probably move a little bit more west where the scenery is a little bit nicer.
where
than
the cows come home.
this is we live in small town USA right now.
Yeah.
And the only outreach around here is
Jail.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, there's this very small town we live in.
The only thing you go to on Saturday night in this town is jail. That's it.
It's pretty rough around here.
Just saying, man.
Yeah, we're not a very cultured area here in Northeast Arkansas, but we're not far away from Memphis, and we're about 4 hours from Nashville. We're about 3 hours from Little Rock. Nothing really close to us at all. That's Branson's all the way on the other side of the state.
Which is a really nice town.
Yeah,
Branson is really nice.
we're in the middle of nowhere. Cow patty out in the middle of nowhere is what we are.
And we don't even have cow patties.
But
That's sad.
if we become successful, that's about the only thing I think I would do different is buy a better house where I could have a better studio and just work on music until the good Lord brings me home.
Right on. Well, let me go ahead and say, if we were to get successful, is my basic opinion of the question is, honestly, we are already successful. We already have a lot of viewers and fans out there watching us. Can I get a witness?
Yeah, about 100.
We already have viewers and witnesses. I can call you witnesses if you want to. Man, I swear to God, if you come up to me, I'm not going to act like I don't know you. Just come up to me. We're going to talk. Alright? You want to be in a music video? You want to be in a music video? We can make it happen. Because we're real people. You know what I mean? Like, we are already successful. You know? When I go to bed at night, I don't pray all the time. I don't. But I pray when I need to pray. I pray when I feel like I need to pray. When Jesus is hard down on me. I feel him coming down on me, and I pray.